Yo, yo, what's going on? It's Joe back here again on Joe Talks. And yes, Michigan and Bryce Underwood done steamrolled Central Michigan, man. Bad. Final score 63-3. Actually, so the real score was 49-3. They ended up taking their starters out at the end of the third quarter. I think with like 2 minutes left in the third quarter, they took their starters out, and at that point it was 49-3. The backups even had to come in and do some work, man. So the final score 63-3. And Bryce Underwood showed out this game as he should, in games like this against schools of this size, you just gotta beat them like this. You have to. And then I'll say this. So the very first play was kind of sus. I'm not gonna lie. The very first play, bomb downfield, missed them by a lot. But literally, that was the only bad pass that Bryce Underwood did that drive. After that, it's like a switch clicked. Throwing like crazy, and then this time he was actually running. He was actually being mobile, and I also give props to the OC, the offensive coordinator, because unlike last game, not letting him really throw downfield and only let him throw screen passes, this game they actually let him throw downfield. And hey, I'll say this: he performed. Bryce Underwood right now, he seems pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, very good game by Michigan. He was even able to execute the 2-minute drill good right before halftime to score. The only critique or the only negative play that Bryce Underwood did was kind of right before halftime. Honestly, he kind of needed this to happen. It was pretty much a heat check. It was the first play, boom, he just throws it up. He needed to get heat checked. Like I said, he started out on fire, and he finished the game on fire too. But this was the only error. He needed a heat check. He threw it up. Double coverage, got intercepted. And then for whatever reason, this was like the only time Central Michigan could move the ball on Michigan. For whatever reason, Michigan could not stop the run this drive, and Central Michigan ended up getting them 3 points. And as the score sees, and as the score, is, the 3 points were all the points that Central Michigan were able to get. So, yeah, man, hey, Michigan did their thing today. It's good. They're going to have a really good test next week, though, against Nebraska with the Walmart version of Mahomes. Not to diss them, though. I'm not dissing them when I say Walmart version of Mahomes. Just there's only one version of Mahomes, and that's the real Mahomes. But the Nebraska quarterback, man, looks like him, same haircut, do the same pregame warm-ups. He's the Walmart version of Mahomes. And yeah, hey, not like I say, no dissing. They're playing good as a team. Nebraska looks really good. Michigan's gonna have a good test next week. So I'm looking forward to that game. But yeah, Michigan came out, played good. Bryce Underwood played good. The whole team played good, even without their head coach. Sharon Moore. For those of y'all who don't know, Sharon Moore is suspended for this game and I think another game. So he was suspended for 2 games due to, the NCAA pretty much just coming out, or not coming out, but just coming after Michigan, just targeting them for some crazy stuff, But the team performed really good. And for the defense, man, the defense played pretty much lights out, besides, like I said, for that one drive where they got the interception and were able to drive down and get a field goal. Other than that, the defense was playing lights out like always. Barham, man. Barham is the new guy for Michigan now on the D-line, coming off the edge. Barham is that guy. He's just that guy now, Graham and what was his name? Graham and Griffins? I don't think Griffins was his name. I know one of them was Graham's. The other one I forgot, but they were both defensive tackles. But they both went to the league. Hey, Barham, it's your time. It's your time to shine. Central Michigan had no answer for him. I think the very first play, if I'm not getting it wrong, the very first play that Central Michigan had on offense was a sack by Barham. Just boom, to just really set the tone. Yeah, Michigan looked really good. That's all I got to say. Michigan looked really good, and I'm really looking forward to next week. And yeah, Bryce Underwood, hopefully as the season goes on, he keeps improving, because this is pretty much Michigan's only QB. Say he ends up, not being good, then one, Michigan wasted a big NIL deal, and two, they're back to square one, with no quarterback. Because I'm not sure about the second string guy. I know they did get a dude from the portal. But I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure that's who came in after the starters came out. But honestly, like literally all they did was run the ball. All they did was run the ball when the starters came in. Obviously, just to chew up clock to get out of there. But yeah, they probably only passed it 2 times. All the other plays were run plays, and they were just, bro. They were just. Hey, that's just tough nose football right there. Smash mouth football. The true Michigan way, man. Downhill, rough running, style play. That's Michigan football. Oh, and then while I'm speaking of running, and then unfortunately, there were 2 plays that were called back. So Michigan pretty much scored on every drive besides 2 plays in the second or leading up to the second half. The first time they didn't score was when Bryce Underwood threw the interception. Then the second time they didn't score was they ended up getting this big run. I can't remember if it was Marshall or Hayes. So it happened twice. The first time I can't remember who it was. It might have been Marshall. The second time I know for sure it was Hayes. But Marshall or Hayes the first time ran the ball in, great run play, called back for holding, and then they weren't able to execute. They kicked the field goal, he missed it. So literally, I forgot how many times they had the ball before the second half, but they were able to get points on all possessions besides 2. And then there was another one in the fourth quarter. Hayes ran it. Great run play. Great everything. But, Holding came back. They still ended up getting a touchdown out of that play. But still, it's like, come on, man, what's going on? Or that might have actually been in the third quarter. Yeah, because I think Bryce Underwood was still in. Yeah. So that was like middle to like the beginning of the third quarter. Bryce Underwood was still in, and I'm pretty sure right after that, Bryce Underwood ran it in for a touchdown. Hey, congratulations on Bryce Underwood. The first Michigan quarterback to run for over 100 yards since Devin Gardner. I think back in 2013 they said. And for those of y'all who don't know, Devin Gardner, man, hey, that's some. Excuse me, that's some Michigan heritage right there. Devin Gardner, Shoelace, well, AKA Shoelace, but his real name was Denard Robinson. Hey, those were the Michigan days, man. For those of y'all who are Michigan fans that know about them guys, hey, yeah, y'all already know. But yeah, Bryce Underwood ran for over 100 yards today. He was really mobile today. So like the first 2 games, I remember the very first game, New Mexico, he didn't even run at all. Because honestly, he didn't have to, man. Like, they were protecting him good, and guys were getting open downfield. And then if they weren't passing it, they were running it and getting yards. So the first game, he didn't run at all. Oklahoma, I think he might have scrambled once or twice, but nothing crazy. This game, man, like they were actually running up plays, like QB draws and stuff, That's good, man. It seems like Bryce Underwood's gonna start running the ball more, and they're gonna start throwing in some designed QB runs, which seems good, man. But I will say this: one thing they do need to talk to him though. Like, this ain't no knock on him. Like, this is a good mental to have, to always be aggressive, always wanna run over somebody. But I mean, hey, man, someone needs to talk to Bryce Underwood, dog. Hey, you're our only QB. Say you're running up on a defender, it's okay to slide and get out of bounds. Hey, this dude likes contact. And like I said, that's not a knock, but just in this situation with no other quarterback, it would be kind of smart to someone be like, hey, and which they probably have, but just as a player that's very physical and likes contact, say a coach even tells you, hey, man, try to chill out. As a player, some players actually listen, but other players are like, man, what's so. But hey, man, say they haven't talked to him already. Hey, Bryce Underwood, please chill out, dog. Like you were acting like a running back some of them plays. Hey, not like I say, not a knock, but just something to look out for. But yeah, Michigan played really good. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but yeah, Bryce Underwood had 2 touchdown runs. I think 2 or 3, maybe even 4 touchdown passes. Hey, he was going in. Central Michigan had no answer. They didn't know what to do. They were lost. They didn't even know what QB to put in. They kept on switching back and forth between QBs. They didn't know what to do, man. But, I mean, hey, I'll say this, Central Michigan's defense, I'll say this, their D-line was pretty solid because Michigan's run game didn't get going right away. I think that's why Bryce Underwood had such a good game throwing wise, because the running game didn't really get going when the game first started. It kind of progressively, started rolling, but when the game first started off, Central was kind of holding Michigan's run game. So that's why I assume they were letting Bryce Underwood throw the ball so much. And I'll say this, man, the secondary did not match their D-line. The secondary, there were a lot of guys wide open, a lot of blown coverages, So the secondary wasn't matching their D-line. So I'll give Central Michigan this. Their D-line, pretty good, man. Everything else, they just couldn't match up with Michigan, man. They couldn't match up with the Wolverines. But like I said, I'm really looking forward to next Saturday's game against Nebraska and the Walmart version, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, whatever you want to call it, version of Mahomes. Like I said before, not a knock, but hey, man, you got to talk trash as, a Michigan fan. But no, I see that being a really good game. Nebraska looks like a good team. Last I was checking, so this game is getting recorded on Saturday, pretty much right after the game. So I was kind of going back and forth. They were winning. I can only assume they won. I'm not sure if they did win, but hey, say Nebraska won. Congratulations. But you're gonna get whooped next week. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all the points that I wanted to touch up on. And I'm also curious to know how other Michigan fans or just, college football fans in general feel about Bryce Underwood's performance. I'm going to be honest, man. For him to be a redshirt freshman starting and playing like this, even though it's against a smaller school, and so backtracking real quick. Back to the Oklahoma game. I do not blame that game on him at all. Like I said, the play calls were ass. They couldn't get nothing going run-wise. And just, Oklahoma has a really good defense. You got to give Oklahoma props. Their defense is good. And a lot of people were talking bad about Bryce Underwood playing the Oklahoma game. I don't think he played bad. They pretty much locked him down. And the only plays that they were really calling were screen plays that Oklahoma was reading in an instant. So I do not blame the Oklahoma game on Bryce Underwood. But, yeah, so in a game like today, he's supposed to show out like this. And he played really well. So I'll give him that. So I'm curious what y'all think about Bryce Underwood. I'm gonna be honest, for a redshirt freshman starting, he's playing really good. I'd pick him over Arch Manning any day, man. Any day, man. Say y'all trying to compare him, to I don't know, another starter in the league. Like shit, man. I'd take Bryce Underwood over Arch Manning any day, man. He's scrambling out of the pocket, making throws, And yes, I'll say this, not every throw was on target, but I mean, most of his throws were. He didn't really miss too many guys, if any. I'm trying to think. I don't really remember him missing anyone, to be honest. I think I might remember 1 or 2 high balls that might have sailed on him. But other than that, man, hey, he played really good, man. I'm going to give that to Bryce Underwood. And I do not blame him for the Oklahoma game. But I seen that some people were. I did not, because he just, they locked him down. They had a game plan for him, Oklahoma. And Michigan just, were scared to let him throw it. I'm not sure what the issue was. But that's pretty much going to wrap the vid up. Like I said before, I'm curious to see what you guys think about Bryce Underwood. And yeah, and what are your thoughts about the upcoming, matchup against Nebraska? Like I said, I see that game being a really good game, especially if they're coming off of a strong win like this. Hopefully they can keep the momentum going and just, keep on steamrolling teams, man, because this was a full-on steamroll, man. Like I say, Central Michigan didn't know what to do. But that's pretty much it for this vid. Say you enjoyed. Like and subscribe would be appreciated. Check out any of my other vids that pop up here on screen. I'd appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace.